Hi, and welcome back to Living Inspired with Autism. This is a space for parents of autistic children who want to create calmer, more grounded, more fulfilling lives while still growing and dreaming and becoming more of who they truly are. I'm Antoinette. I'm a life coach. I'm mom to Max and someone who deeply understands both the beauty and the intensity of this journey. And today we're talking about something that is shaping so many of your lives: ease versus evolving. And this episode came to me because I've been coaching on this a lot lately, especially with parents who are holding a lot. You're raising your child or children, maybe you're even homeschooling, you're managing your home, some of you are building businesses, or trying to rediscover yourselves again. And underneath it all, something we all want. I know I do. I just want things to feel easier. And listen, that desire makes complete sense. Because our lives are not light. They're not simple and they're not predictable. So of course we want ease. But here's a conversation that we do need to have. What if the very thing that you want is also the thing that is keeping you stuck? There's this idea out there, almost like a whisper, that sounds really convincing. If something is right for you, it will feel easier. If you're aligned, it will feel peaceful. If it's meant to be, it will flow effortlessly. And I want to challenge that because, yes, there is a kind of ease that comes from alignment, but there's also a kind of ease that comes from staying the same, from not pushing, from not risking, from not growing. And the two feel very similar, but they lead to completely different lives. Let me tell you what evolving really looks like. It looks like doubting yourself, feeling stretched, questioning everything, wanting to quit, feeling uncomfortable in your own skin. It's not graceful, it's not calm, and is definitely not peaceful. It's more like your life has handed you this bigger version of yourself. And your brain is saying, excuse me, we did not sign up for this. And this is where so many parents stop. Because they think this must mean I'm doing it wrong. But actually, this is the exact sign that you're doing it right. So one of the most powerful things I want you to take from today is this. Your desire is not random. It's not inconvenient, it's not unrealistic, and it's not too much. It's just an invitation to evolve. And when you start moving towards that desire, everything that is not aligned with it will come up. Your doubts, your fears, your limiting beliefs. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. It means that they are ready to be seen. Your brain is designed to keep you safe, and that's why it feels so hard. It's designed to keep you safe, not fulfilled, not expanded, not evolved, just safe. So when you start stepping into something new, it's going to offer you thoughts like, this is too much, or you can't do this, or now's not the right time. What if it all goes wrong? And if you don't understand what's happening, you believe those thoughts and you'll go back to ease, back to the familiar, back to the comfortable, back to where nothing changes. But for parents of autism, your situation is unique. Your life already requires a lot from you. So when we talk about evolving, I want to be clear, this is not about adding pressure. It's not about doing more. It's not about becoming perfect. This is about who you become internally. And this might look like becoming more patient with yourself, becoming less reactive, becoming more grounded, trusting yourself more, letting go of the constant guilt. Your evolution doesn't have to be big and loud. It can be beautifully quiet and deeply powerful. So here's the question I want you to sit with. Am I choosing ease or am I choosing to evolve? And there's no wrong answer, but there is a powerful difference. Because when you don't choose consciously, you default. And default almost always leads to staying the same. So let's look at the other side of this, the cost of not evolving. What happens if you don't evolve? You stay in the same patterns, you stay in the same overwhelm, you stay in the same emotional cycles. And over time, that ease starts to feel like restlessness, frustration, quite resentment, because there is a part of you that knows there is more. So if you decide, I want to evolve, then we need something to evolve toward. And this is where your stretch goal comes in. Not a safe goal, not a just-in-case goal that stretches you, that makes you feel uncomfortable, that makes your brain go, are we serious right now? Because that is the kind of goal that creates transformation. And here's what will happen. The moment you decide, everything's going to come up. All of it. Your fears, your doubts, your I can't do this. This is not the time. And instead of pushing it away, I want you to look at it. Because awareness gives you power. As I always say, you cannot change what you are not willing to see. One of the biggest mistakes I see is trying to jump straight to positive thinking. But if you don't first acknowledge what's there, it just hides. So instead of saying, I should feel confident, try, I feel scared, acknowledging it, and that's okay. Sit with it, understand it, because when you do that, you start to lead yourself. And your identity will shift. You'll no longer be that version of you who played small, that version of you who stayed safe, that version of you who avoided discomfort. And that can feel disorientating, like you don't quite know who you are anymore. This is what I call the identity stretch. And it's not a problem, it's just the bridge. Now, the emotions required for this growth, they don't feel nice and comfortable. Ease, on the other hand, feels like calm and peace and safety. Evolving feels like courage and commitment and determination. They don't feel soft. They sound great, but they're not comfortable. They feel strong, and they are seriously uncomfortable. Now, the beauty of life is not meant to be evolving all of the time, and it's not meant to be ease all of the time. It's about balance. Ease, then evolve. Evolve, then some ease. It's like breathing in and out. You expand, then you settle. And over time, your capacity grows. And this is where you start using your higher brain. Not that reactive default part of your brain, but your intentional, forward-thinking brain. And we've spoken about this before. Our natural tendency is to avoid discomfort and seek pleasure. But growth requires us to override that pattern consciously. And that is a skill, a learnable skill. And remember, evolution doesn't have to be this big dramatic thing. It can be one new thought, one new decision, one moment of choosing something differently. Because your life is built on choices, small ones, every single day. And those choices shape everything. So let's bring this back to you. Where in your life are you choosing ease, but you are secretly craving some growth? Where are you playing small? Where are you ready for more? And what would it look like to just take that step into the next version of yourself? If you're listening to this and you're thinking, yep, this is me, I feel stuck, but I also feel so ready not to be, then I want to invite you to take this work deeper with me, because this is exactly what we do in my one-on-one coaching. We don't just talk about growth, we walk you through it with support, with strategy, and of course with a lot of compassion. So you don't have to figure this all out on your own. You can email me or reach out and we'll set up a consultation so that we can explore what this could look like for you. I want you to imagine yourself 1 year from now. If you choose ease, what does your life look like? And if you choose to evolve, what does that version of you look like? How does she think? How does she feel? How does she show up? You don't have to rush this. You don't have to force anything, but you do get to choose. And wherever you choose, whatever you choose, own it, because that is where your power lies. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. But if you are ready to stop spinning in the same patterns and to start becoming the parent you know you're capable of being, I would love to support you. So reach out for a one-on-one consultation and let's create that path forward that feels aligned and grounded and truly transformative for you. Thank you again for being here, and remember, you are allowed to want ease and you're also allowed to evolve. So thank you. I will speak to you again next week.